Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the Agency Growth Bootcamp lesson number 3. Today we are talking about the sales systems for your marketing agency. Probably the most exciting topic we have covered to date in this bootcamp. There will be more interesting ones to me, like fulfillment down the road as we progress through the bootcamp in a couple of lessons from now. But for now, I think sales is by far the most interesting one to me. And the reason being is, no matter how good the foundations of the agency that you're building are, and no matter how strong your offer is, if you suck at sales and you're not using a repeatable framework, you will not be able to close the prospects consistently into the high value clients for your agency, and you will not be able to grow as fast as you would like to. So it is extremely important that you master sales, or you continue mastering sales from the moment you start your agency and just continue practicing it and getting better over time, dialing in the system that we'll be talking about today for your particular offer, for your particular agency. First, I want you to stop thinking about sales as the personality trait or the form of art or whatever else you're thinking about when the word sales come to your mind. Sales is a repeatable system. It is a framework. That's what you need to think about sales. It's not some magic voodoo stuff that only some people are privileged to do or only some people are good at. You can actually learn that repeatable system and apply it in your agency and unlock the growth that like nothing you've ever seen before. And today we will cover the exact framework we're using in our own agency, which allowed us to scale to where we are today, which is basically 200,000 a month in revenue. And we will use that same exact framework to continue scaling to $500,000 and then $1 million per month. I will give you exact scripts and strategies that we are using and what allows us and will then allow you to convert the cold prospects into the high value clients for your marketing agency. First, let's talk about sales as a diagnosis. That is a mindset shift that you need to go through if you're thinking about sales right now as a personality trait or a form of art. And for this, you need to start. And for this, I want you to think about the doctor. Or let's think about what the doctor does. Doctor diagnoses a problem or a pain point that their patient has and then prescribes a solution to that pain point. They might be prescribing a surgery or some sort of physical activity or exercise or maybe some prescription like medication. They do not hustle them into buying the prescription or doing that surgery or doing that exercise. They don't pressure them into this. They first identify the problem and then they present a solution. And that's what you need to start doing with your prospects in your marketing agency. If you possess a specific solution to a particular pain point, let's say you offer email marketing for chiropractors who struggle with retaining their clients after the first session. It is your moral obligation to deliver it to the right people, which in your case would be chiropractors. Sales is not about charming people. It's not about trying to convince them that they need your product. It is about systematically identifying the needs and pain points of your prospects and then offering your expert guidance. Here, I have the low friction cold outreach framework that we are using, which let's talk about the first part. Right now, more than likely, you are, just like the majority of agency owners when they start out, are asking for a 30-minute meeting when you reach out to the prospects, whether you are using the cold outreach or you're using direct messages on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram and Facebook, whatever the channel you're using. First, I want you to start avoiding asking for 30-minute meetings because they will lead to prospects saying no in 99.9% of the time. If you just ask for a meeting without giving any sort of value up front, like why would I jump on a call with you? Like who exactly you are for me to try and jump on a call with you, wasting my time learning about your services that you're trying to show to me if you're not solving my particular pain point that I have in my business or in my life. So stop asking 30-minute meetings too early in the process and start providing value or asking some sort of binary question that the prospect has easy way to say yes or no to. This will allow you to reduce the resistance to eventually having those prospects jump on a call with you, and it will allow you to increase the engagement that you have in the initial stage of the outreach. You will get to see more yeses to whatever you're trying to offer, like the value proposition that you are having. And eventually, once you provide the value and prospects sees it for themselves and their business, it will be easy for them to say yes to a call. And they will think about it as their idea, not yours. Here I have the exact permission-based strategy that we are using in our agency. Here's how we have scaled, and I'm just giving it to you that you can copy and paste and apply it to your own agency, and hopefully it will work just as well for you as it did for us. This script is designed to get a yes to a small valuable offer that you are providing upfront when you just reach out, instead of getting an immediate no to the meeting. Like I already told you, if you just ask for a meeting right away, you're just not gonna get a lot of yeses. I mean, I've never really seen it being successful unless you are an actual authority in your niche, which if you're watching this video, you're probably not. Let's be real. So I do not want you to be asking for a meeting right away. I want you to try and provide some sort of value. And this strategy here includes 3 different steps. Step number 1, it's the observation. Step number 2 is the value hook. And then step number 3 is the soft call to action. Let's go over each one of them one by one. Step number 1, the observation. When you send out your email or a direct message, you want to start out by referencing something very specific about your prospect's business. You want to say something like, hey John, I saw your post on LinkedIn about chiropractors struggling to retain their clients after the first session. This shows that you have done your homework and you know who you're reaching out to and you know their pain point, and you're not just messaging somebody who you have no even idea about what they're selling or doing in their business. Step number 2 is the value hook. Once you show that you know who you're talking to, that you've done your homework about the client's or prospect's business, you want to start introducing your solution. You want to say something like, hey, I actually just finished building a client retention roadmap specifically for chiropractors so you guys could retain your clients after the first session and make them come back, this way increasing their lifetime value. And after the second step, once you introduce your solution or your value proposition, what you want to say is something like, hey, I'm not actually selling it. I just want to get feedback from experts like yourself because you're a chiropractor. Do you mind if I send it over in a Loom or a PDF format and you just provide your feedback? This way, you're actually not pressuring your prospects into saying yes to a meeting, but you're giving them the valuable document or video that they can watch and implement the information from that document or the video in their business right away and see some sort of lift in their revenue or the retention rate, which is basically an immediate value that they will be able to get from you without even jumping on the call. And the reason it works so well is, number 1, it is not a pitch. You're not asking for a high-cost calendar invite because, let's be honest, business owner's time is pretty expensive, and for them, 30-minute meeting with you, it could be a 30-minute session with their actual client in their business. So they would be losing out on the revenue during that time because they would need to be talking to you instead of having a session booked with a client. Second, it is permission-based. Asking a question like, hey, mind if I send this over in a PDF or a Loom, actually empowers your prospect, which helps to build the rapport and authority. It doesn't make it feel like you're trying to force the solution down their throat. It makes it feel like you're just asking a question and you're interested in getting their expert feedback because, they're the expert. You're reaching out to them and you're asking for their guidance. And then number 3, it's the feedback. People love giving opinions, including yourself and maybe myself and 7 billion other people who like to leave comments on social media under every single post, inserting their 5 cents, even if they don't know what they're talking about. Anyways, once your prospects see your expertise in the Loom video that you've sent over or the PDF document that you've sent over, the sales call starts becoming their idea as a natural next step in the process. You've first reached out to them, you know who they are, what they do, what pain points they might be having because you have done your homework. Maybe they've mentioned it on LinkedIn or Twitter in one of their posts. You have given them the document, they've been able to get the document, implement some value from it, and extract value from it right away by seeing a lift in the revenue, a retention rate, and then sales call with you becomes pretty much a natural next step for them to continue growing. So for them to say yes to a sales call at this stage is way easier compared to when you ask for a meeting right away, when you just reach out. So again, stop asking for a meeting right away. Start asking for a meeting on the second or third step after you send out this value proposition document and you get feedback back from the client. Once the call is booked, it is extremely important to have a very structured approach to your call and how you lead it. I have 5-phase framework here that will ensure that you maintain the control from the beginning to end, diagnose all of the pain points and challenges that your prospects have effectively, and then lead them naturally towards the solution you offer that you're selling at your marketing agency. This 5-phase diagnostic call framework includes framing, diagnosis, solution, impact, and it's not shown on this slide, next steps. You will see it on the next couple of slides, I think not on the next one, but maybe 2 slides from now. Let's go over each phase one by one. Starting with phase 1, framing the call. What you want to do is you want to, before the call even happens or starts, you want to prepare the agenda for the call. And when you jump on it, you want to clearly outline to your prospect what will be discussed on that call, the purpose of the call, and what the outcome will be. This will help establish your authority and keep the conversation on track. And if you cannot solve their problem, if your particular offer doesn't fit their pain point or your challenge, just be honest about it on the sales call. Say, hey, it looks like I'm not able to help you, but I know somebody who does. And then refer this prospect to that as a business. You can get the commission first of all. And second of all is, you do good in the world. You're not trying to scam anybody, because if you cannot solve the pain problem and you still try to close that prospect on your offer, you're doing them a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice, because if shit doesn't go well, they will leave a bad review, and even worse, they might start going around your target niche or the industry that you're serving and start talking shit about you if somebody asks them, hey, what do you think about XYZ? And they will give their honest opinion that you screwed them over, you fucked them over, and you didn't deliver what you have promised to them during the sales call. So it is extremely important to be honest. If you can solve their pain point, offer your solution, and if you can't, just be honest about it up front. Phase number 2, diagnosis. Here, you want to start asking hard questions and diving into the pain points. You want to start asking questions that will uncover the root cause of their challenges and make it easy for the prospect to realize the full scope of their problem. You want to start asking questions like, hey, how long you have been dealing with this particular problem? What made you decide that now is the best time to solve it instead of 6 months from now or 6 months ago? You're trying to ask questions that will make them naturally lead to thinking about this problem that they're experiencing or this challenge that they're experiencing being very high urgency at this particular moment. And after you do this, you finally can propose your tailored solution. You will present your solution directly addressing the diagnosed issues or the challenges or the pain points that the prospect just shared with you in the previous phase or in the previous step. And at this point, they should already be primed enough to see you offering as a clear answer to their pain points, because by you asking the right questions, you will naturally lead them to think that, oh shit, this is more urgent than I thought it is. And when you present your offer, it will be way easier for them to understand why it is so important to implement it now rather than 6 months from now or a year from now, or maybe not even implement it at all at any point in time. Once you present your offer, you might have to deal with some objections, and it is important that you handle those objections correctly. We are not going to talk about how to handle objections here, but one of my favorite ways to do so, just very high level, is to highlight the consequences of an action, whether it be the price or the time, or I need to discuss it with my business partner. Like all of those things, they indicate different things about like whether they don't trust you or maybe the price is too high. But again, if you highlight the consequences of an action, if you help them to visualize the negative impact of staying where they are instead of the positive transformation that your solution offers to them and their business, it will be way easier for them to understand that any of their objections are irrelevant compared to how much value your solution or your offer provides to them and the upside that they can see in their business once they implement that solution. And finally, once they've committed to working with you, once they've said yes to your offer, whatever it is that you're offering, you want to outline clear next steps. Make it easy to define the path forward. Provide a very simple, actionable next step that moves the prospect closer to becoming a client to your marketing agency. You can say something like, okay, great. I will be sending over the contract later today. Please review it and let me know if you have any questions. And if you want to discuss it again, let's hop on a meeting tomorrow or the day after that and then discuss all of them. And if everything is in agreement, you can sign that contract on the call and then we can get started the following week or the following day. This 5-phase framework will allow you to close your calls with any prospect way easier, because instead of pushing your solution or your offer down their throat, you're diagnosing their pain points as a doctor, and then you're offering the tailored solution, tailored prescription in the final stage, handling the objections after that, and providing clear next steps right after that as well. I actually have included all of these steps along with the examples of things you can say or should be saying for each phase of this framework in the document. I will link it in the description of this video. Make a copy and start using it in your own marketing agency when you prepare the outline and agenda for the call with the prospects. And I hope it's going to help you start booking more meetings on the calendar and also start closing more of those prospects and making them actual clients for your agency. That's about it for today. Let's finish it here. I will see you in the next lesson. Peace.